Alright, hey guys, Punchy here from Punchy's Game Room, and I'm actually going to break the ice on this brand new channel by uploading a few tutorial videos. I know this channel is geared towards gaming, but I want to help some people out that might be interested in recording videos or streaming from their PC, and they're not really sure where to start. So I'm in OBS Studio. I'm using the newest version available. This is going to be a tutorial for OBS and how to set up a basic stream or recording setup on your PC. So when you first open OBS, it's going to be a little different than what you see here. I'm going to go ahead and go to Tools and click on this Auto Configuration Wizard because this is actually what you're going to be greeted with when you install OBS and open it up. So you're going to see a few options here. The first one's going to be optimized for streaming, recording is secondary. The second one is optimized for just recording. I will not be streaming. So basically, if you're not going to be streaming live videos, you're going to want to pick this second option. If you're going to be streaming to like Twitch or YouTube, this is going to be the one for you. This just helps you figure out your settings for your PC and what's going to be the best and give you the best performance while you're recording or streaming videos. So this third option that says I will only be using the virtual camera, we're not going to worry about that right now because that's kind of irrelevant to the basic tutorial we're doing here. So we're going to select the optimize for streaming and we're going to hit next. So now it's going to show us video settings. Base canvas resolution is going to be the resolution that the video records or encodes at. So mine is already set to 1920 by 1080, which is 1080p. And under FPS, that's your frames per second. You have either 60 or 30, but prefer 60 when possible. I'm not sure how it determines whether or not it picks 30 or 60. I stream with 60 FPS because my internet and hardware allows it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do next. So under service here, you can pick between various streaming platforms. So I already have my Twitch account connected. You can see where it says disconnect account, under here. And basically what you're going to do is you're just going to log into your Twitch account in OBS and it's going to link your account directly to this program. That way when you go down here to start streaming later, it's just going to automatically put the video to your channel. So there's a couple boxes here we need to pay attention here. We have prefer hardware encoding, and we also have estimate bitrate with bandwidth test. So if you keep that checked, it's going to test your internet speed to basically tell you what type of settings you can stream with and if that's tolerable within the limit of your upload speed. So hardware encoding is basically you're just using your graphics card to encode the video. If your graphics card doesn't support this, you may not see this box or you may not even be able to do this. So otherwise, it's going to use your CPU. So we're going to go ahead and hit next, and it's going to go ahead and check bandwidth between like a few different servers. This does take a couple of minutes, I've noticed. I don't remember it taking this long the very first time I did it, but it has been a while since I've actually set this up. So it's on auto, and then now it's testing the US East Chicago, Illinois. I'm assuming it just picks the servers based on your location. So if you live like somewhere else, it may use different servers to test this. So now we're doing Canada, Toronto, and then this should be the last one. So after this is finished, it's going to come up and show you some settings. And I'll read those off to you just so you can kind of understand what we got going on here. So the program has determined that these estimated settings are ideal for you. So it's using Twitch, US East Chicago server, which is very close to me. It's 4 hours away or so. Video bitrate is 6,000. That is the max bitrate you're allowed to stream with on Twitch. Streaming encoder is hardware. That's going to use my graphics card. Recording encoder, same thing. Recording quality, now that's when you're actually recording videos to your hard drive. That has nothing to do with streaming. So it auto set to high quality medium file size. You can go in and change that manually if you want to, and we'll talk about that later. So I'm going to go ahead and hit apply settings. So now you're just going to be here with this interface, and over here on the left, at the bottom left, you're going to see the word scenes. Now this is the default scene that you get when you install OBS. So to make a scene, we're going to go ahead and do that actually so that we can build a scene together. We're going to right click inside this pane here and click add. And then I'm just going to name this tutorial scene. So we're going to go ahead and make our tutorial scene, and you're going to see down here you can pick between default and tutorial scene. So make sure that your scene that you're building is selected. And then over here just to the right there's an empty box that says you don't have any sources. Click the plus button below or right click here to add one. So we're going to go ahead and right click, and it's going to have the add option. So you're going to have all these different options to add things to your stream setup. So you've got audio input capture, audio output capture, browser, that's for adding like add-ons like stream alerts and stuff. That'll be for another video. Display capture, which captures an entire monitor. So if you're doing like a dual monitor setup and you want to capture the left or right monitor, you can do that, and it'll always show everything on the monitor. So be aware of that. It doesn't just capture like a single window. Game capture is going to be ideal for most games. Images are for like adding static images or like animations to your stream. Slideshow, that's pretty self-explanatory. Media source would be like a video. And this NTR thing is something I have installed, so you won't see that on your setup. So just disregard that. And then you have text, video capture device, which will be like a webcam. And then window capture would just be like your default capture method if you can't get like game capture to work, or if you want to capture like your web browser or some other program. So we'll go ahead and add a window capture, and I'm going to capture my my voice meter, which is my audio settings. So we're going to do voice meter. I'm just going to name it that, and then hit create new, or hit OK, create new. So it's going to come up and show you available windows that you can actually capture. For some reason, it doesn't show voice meter though. That's strange. Okay, so we're not going to do voice meter. Here's what we're going to do. For some reason, I saw voice meter before, but maybe it's just being weird. So we're going to rename this. We're going to rename this to, let's see. We're rename this to Google Chrome. So we're going to capture the web browser. And what we're going to do is now right click and go to properties on this Google Chrome. And then it's going to automatically bring up Chrome. So yeah, you have the option to capture your cursor, which will show your mouse arrow when you're on that window. So I'll go ahead and click on that so you can see that my mouse is moving around. So that's how you add a scene to capture, like just a window or something, whatever you want to show your audience. Now I'm going to talk about sound a little bit because this is actually pretty important. So in a stream setting, you're going to have multiple scenes. So over here where we have, I'm actually going to close this now. So over here where we have our two scenes, we got default and we got our tutorial scene. You're going to want to have like a scene that you go to when you take a break or something for a minute. And I'll show you what that means. So if you notice when I click these two scenes, over here in the middle, it shows desktop audio and mic/auxiliary. What I like to do is I actually like to mute these, and then I will hide them, because if you don't hide them and mute them, they'll be in every scene that you create. So whenever you do like a be right back screen, you don't want your mic and stuff to stay on while you're away from the computer. So what that'll do is whenever you make a new scene, you're going to want to individually add your audio devices to your scene that you want to have audio. That way when you go on a break or something, you don't have to keep manually muting your mic with a switch or something, because there will just be no audio present. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the left again and right click and hit add in the scene box, and we're going to do BRB, and we're just going to do this as a test. So over here in sources, we're going to right click and we're going to add text, and we're just going to name it BRB text. You can name it whatever you want. You can't name it BRB though, because it'll say you already have that existing. And a nice thing about this is when you already make this stuff up, when you go to add these things to other scenes, you won't have to keep recreating them. You can go to add existing, and then it'll be it'll be there. So we're going to put this in the middle of the screen here. You can just click and drag it around. Once you get it where you're happy with it being, you can actually go down here to where it is in the scene, in the sources, and you can click this little padlock, and what that'll do is that'll keep it from being accidentally moved around if you're messing about in your screen. So the reason we're making this is when we go on a break or something during our stream, we don't want our audio to stick around. So we're going to go back to our tutorial scene, and we're going to go ahead and go to sources here, right click, add, and we're going to do audio input capture. So this is going to be your microphone. So we'll just name it mic. If you do add existing, it's going to add the muted one that we hid earlier. So we don't want to use that. So make sure you create a new one. So it's going to bring up a window wanting you to add a device. So you have to know what your mic device is. I have a more complicated setup, so this is going to look a lot different on yours than it will with mine. And I have to remember which one this is because I always mix them up. So basically you're just going to select one, and then if you're talking, you'll notice that it's moving down here. So we'll know that that's my mic. So we're going to use a voice meter. Do not tick the use device timestamps box. Sometimes that will make your audio and your video not synchronized when you're streaming. I've noticed problems with that. So now that we have our mic added, we're going to go ahead and right click again over in sources, and we're going to add audio output capture. And we'll just name this like PC audio or something. Just something to signify that it's going to be the sound of the entire computer as a whole. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then under devices, you should be able to just use default for the most part. And a way to test this is just to play some music or something and then watch the meter down here to see if it starts bouncing up and down, and you can adjust the volume accordingly down here. So I'm going to put mine would actually be voice meter aux input, and we're going to untick the timestamp box. So now we're going to do like a test sound. So I'm doing my volume here, and we're just going to make sure that so the sound is working. So that's how you add sound to your scene. So now we can show an example of how this works by going to our BRB scene, and what's going to happen is now the video audio is still going to exist because I'm recording a video, but when you're streaming and you click this, your sound is actually going to go away. And you notice over here where audio mixer is, there are no audio devices. And if we hit unhide, it'll show that the mic is working on the source that you hid and muted, but there's still no sound coming out. So you just keep those hidden. You won't have to deal with those anymore. And then every time you add a new scene, you will have to add your audio. But now that we've already created these input and output devices, like if we go to the default scene and we want to add audio, we don't have to recreate that again. We can just click mic. We don't have to create a new one. We can click down here. We can do the mic, and then we can go to add output, and then we can do PC audio, and boom, our audio is here. So that's how you add sound to your scene. So basically, this is how you do a basic setup in OBS if you want to record videos and add sound and stuff to your videos, but you don't want your sound to stick around in your other scenes. I will do some other videos maybe on a little more advanced stuff like cropping and adding a webcam and stuff like that if you guys want to. But I think that's going to be it for this video. I don't want to make it too long and make it too drug out and boring. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it was informational. And if you enjoyed it, definitely leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.